And joining me live now is Douglas Hsu, Taiwan's representative to Australia. Mr. Hsu, thanks so much for joining us on the program. In your view, has China remained neutral during the campaign, and will China respect the outcome of the election?
Well, thank you very much, Kenny. Well, I think this is a very good question. China has never been stay neutral in Taiwan's election. In the past few months, we saw that China aggressively tried to use any kind of method to intervene in Taiwan's election through the military threat, through the economic coercion, through pressuring Taiwanese businessmen in China, as well as we saw a lot of cognitive warfare through the spread of the disinformation as well as conspiracies. So they are doing their best try to influence Taiwan's voters. And of course, this is Taiwan's election. So we definitely call for PRCs to respect any outcome of Taiwan voters' choice.
And do you think these threats from China will influence many voters in how they vote one way or the other?
Well, I think that Taiwan's become a full-fledged democracy in the 1990s, and we had our first direct presidential election back in 1996. So since then, we have experienced China's interference in our presidential election. So many of Taiwanese voters are used to this kind of coercion from China during the election time. However, I firmly believe that Taiwanese voter has the wisdom to make the right choice.
All parties up for election say they'd be willing to engage in better dialogue with Beijing if China was not pushing reunification. Do you think better dialogue with China is possible?
Well, no matter which candidates, they all want to have a peaceful and stable Taiwan Strait. And of course, that is also all three pair of candidates, they call for, dialogue with mainland China. However, for the ruling DPP party, they believe that peace will happen through strength. And for the opposition KMT party, they hope that peace can be achieved by negotiation or dialogue. And for the third party candidates, TPP Mayor Ko Wen-je, he suggested that peace needs to be promote this mutual understanding across Taiwan Strait. So they have different approach, but I think the goal is the same.
And what do you think about the possible backlash from China if the incumbent DPP wins Saturday's election again, because Beijing has made it clear they are opposed to the ruling party because of its ties with America?
Well, I think the presidential election in Taiwan itself is kind of a very strong signal to Beijing that democracy can exist in Chinese cultures. So no matter who wins Taiwan's election, that's gonna send this signal to Beijing. So no matter who wins the election, we trust that we believe that Beijing will continue their aggression in Taiwan Strait and will also continue to pressure no matter who the new leader is in Taiwan.
And if Beijing does retaliate because they don't like the result of the election, such as imposing trade sanctions, for example, how would you like to see Australia respond to that?
Well, in the past few years, I think in addition to Australia and Taiwan, there are other countries around the world that have been suffering from economic coercion from Beijing. So in the past few years, there are intensive discussions among like-minded nations that we need to collaborate together to face this kind of economic coercion challenge from an unfriendly country. So if that happens after our election and Taiwan face the economic coercion again, I believe that we are in a better position because we have other helpers around the world who are willing to collaborate together to make this global supply chain more healthy.